Hey guys, it's Penelope in London. I'm doing the new moon in Leo, and it's really important times right now. It's just fascinating to me how much chaos is in this world and watching rules and regulations kick in. If you look at the chart that we've got in front, that's here right now, we can see if I get my pointer and I'll show you. I wanted to show myself actually because I normally do these videos behind the scenes, but the veil's being lifted on humanity by the looks of things, and we all know what I mean by that, or maybe we don't. But this period of time reminds me a bit of the Wizard of Oz, like behind the veil. What's really going on, and it's tricky times for many, and for me, and I'll fill you in before I start this chart. I've been looking after my immune system. We all know what that means. I follow the medical medium. He's got loads of stuff on, really on how to eat well. And I've been working out for 30 minutes today. I just bought some new weights yesterday as well. And I'm really pleased with the input I'm doing for myself. I don't feel that alone. I've spent all this time on my own the whole period. But, I've been I'm planting seeds right now. And this is a new moon. I'll get on with it now. It's a new moon. And the new moon is in Leo. So if you can see that you've got this chart here, you've got 1614, it was a couple of hours ago, I'm uploading this video a bit later, but when we see here, we can see that the moon is, they're conjunct. So when it's a new moon, it's conjunct, the moon is conjunct the sun, and when it's a full moon, the sun is opposite, or the moon is opposite, however way you want to look at it, the moon, the sun, they're opposite each other. And, the sun gives light to the moon. So when it's a full moon, it's that that is a reflection of the sunlight on the moon. So it's a culmination. A new moon is when things are dark. And then in the coming days, we'll begin to see it will start going forward and it will become full again. So we're at a point where we're planting seeds for something new in us. And I feel it really strongly today, this Leo, energy. And the full moon, the new moon, not full moon, the new moon is in Leo. And wherever this will fall in your chart, I will show you my own chart so that you can look at yours. And I'm just going to do a bit of reading. I've got my notes here. That's how I normally work behind the scenes. Like the Wizard of Oz, I've got my own thing going on that I don't share with everybody. But, I've been studying astrology now for some time, and it's a beautiful tool. Carl Gustav Jung used astrology in order to understand people's psyches. Like when he got stuck with people, he would bring up a chart. And we can see this in the collective, right now with the square going on to Uranus to Saturn, this is our restriction up here. This is the ruler of, it rules, Capricorn, Saturn, ruler of Capricorn. And so actually does Uranus in the, more old school stuff. But we've got Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus is to do with our inner needs. It's to do with what do I need in order to survive. It's to do with agriculture. It's to do with the land. It's to do with money and resources. And we can see it's gone skew-whiff, if you know that word. If you're, maybe, I don't know if it's just a British word. It's like things are not, what we thought. And now we're having all of this restriction, 9 degrees up there, retrograde, to Uranus, which is going to go retrograde in a week or so. And we've got this restriction going on, and we want to break free of limitations, and we're feeling it. And we're seeing what's going on in the world. And it's shocking, and that's another thing, Uranian energy is shocking because, where is this going to lead? Are we all going to, live like separate from each other because we've made different choices? We just don't know at this time. It's incredible times. So the moon in Leo, what does it mean? So this is very standard stuff that I'm reading you. It was, it's at Leo at 16 degrees. And it's where we will feel safe in moments when we can impress others. So when we can impress others, we feel safe in the moment. And when we get praise and admiration, yet when we're in the spotlight, we may find ourselves to be at a loss. Maybe the idea would be that you should admit your fear of criticism and your inability to accept criticism. It is very important to accept feedback and use it for improvement. So, we can have healthy criticism of ourselves, or we can have unhealthy criticism. I know that, for many people that have been through childhood trauma, it would have been very unhealthy criticism. Society right now is giving us, there's people are being criticized. We're all criticizing each other. I'm sort of neutral, but I know what I want for myself. So I'm not in judgment of others. I'm just watching. I'm on the fence, as a person looking at, what is going on. And in part, understanding astrology gives me the ability to, sort of guide me a bit and align me in understanding that there's something that's bigger going on. It's the bigger picture. And for me, that would be natural because I do have Pluto in the 9th house and I have Pluto conjunct Uranus. So I can be a bit shocking sometimes. I know that to be true. And that's maybe my soul is here to, sort of be who I am. We're all different. So with this, the Leo, the moon is it influences the heart, the Torah, I think I always say that word wrong, but anyway, part of the body, we know that much, the blood circulation, blood pressure and heart rate. And it says, that during the new moon in Leo, we've got, or the full moon in Leo, these organs are more sensitive. So we need to take extra care. So don't go freaking yourself out. If somebody's raising you're giving you high blood pressure, get rid of them for the day or for a few days or something whilst the moon moves through Leo. So we can look at the main aspects here that we always know when the full moon, new moon, I keep saying full moon, new moon, is we know that they're conjunct, and that we've also got this Mercury also conjunct here, weaker conjunction, and we've got Mars in Virgo and we've got Venus in Virgo. That Venus today is actually on my MC. It's right up there on my MC, which is good for me today. That's maybe why I'm showing myself, because I've got my values and needs. I'm showing that to people. I'm putting different stuff out there. The Sun is conjunct Mercury, and this gives us the ability to be subjective with our creative, and also be on stage, and stand up for all of us, for the collective, to stand up and say, something different and to be outspoken about it. The Sun is opposing Saturn. So if you see that you've got them here, you've got this opposition going on as well. It's opposing. So what does that mean? It means that it's where we creates two groups of people. People in the first group tend to give up when they encounter problems. And then the second group, when they encounter problems, they get stimulated. So this is what we can see playing out in the collective at the moment. Some people are being stimulated by what's going on, and some people are being, being dysregulated and encountering problems by what's going on with this Saturn, and the moon as well. It's new. And then the Sun square Uranus, which is all year. This, not the Sun. Sorry, the Sun is square Uranus. I'll go there, but I'll come back to that Uranian energy with Saturn. The Sun square Uranus. So also we got the Sun squaring Uranus here. So let's do that. So this aspect can make us too individualistic. It can make us selfish and eccentric. And it's also, we're very independent, and we can have, and we can also guard our independence as well. And it's maybe where we won't be considerate towards others. So we want to watch out for that, because the Sun, that's the square. So squares are basically where something wants to manifest. People can look at squares as being really scary stuff, but they're not. It's like something wants to manifest. It's like you pick up a weight, you've got the thing to go to the gym, you want to manifest something, it's like, it's tension. That's what a square is. It's tension, but you want to manifest. So for better or worse, we're going to manifest, but we have our consciousness, which allows us to some degree free will to make choices. We can't control everything. We can't control how long we're going to be on this planet, but we can do things for ourselves that can, give us longevity. The difference between, I used to, as an example, on my childhood trauma that I experienced, I got addicted to alcohol, and I used to drink over a bottle of wine a night for years. I haven't had a drink for 9 years, as an example. So through becoming more conscious and working on the pain and not disassociating and looking at my pain, I understood that I was using alcohol as self-medication, which people do with all sorts of things. Food, people do it with addictions, porn addiction, alcohol addiction, drug addiction. We understand that, we have at some point some point with trauma, we need to move away from that, you know, and also as we not move away from, as we deal with our trauma, it's moving away from, once we understand it, it's not so cut and dried, you know, we're all different, and that shows up in our charts as well. So the moon is conjunct Mercury, I won't go there. We've got the moon square to Uranus, which is quite fast moving, but this is where we can feel that we've been wronged and we need to do something about it. So that moon that's hitting the Uranian energy there has this, you know, feeling around it that, you know, that, and it can make us alternative. It's emotionally, we're more individualistic with that. And the Mercury is opposing Jupiter as well. You can see that there. Mercury. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to, because you've seen this, go to AstroSeek if you want your own chart, do that, because you can get your own chart. So what I'm actually going to do is move over to my chart before I go over to SolarFire, so I can show you where this moon is moving for me. Let me make sure I'm sharing the same right thing. I'm sure I am. So you can see for me, I've got Venus, how beautiful, on top of my MC today, and Mars is on my Uranian energy and my Pluto at the moment. So that moon here is in my 9th house. So for me, you know, in my 9th house, that's going to, you know, work on my higher education if I want any. It's going to be working on new ideas and the ideas of traveling, even if it's like armchair traveling. It could be, you know, I could be doing this on the internet online as such. You know, we don't have to go somewhere in order to travel with the psyche. We can still learn so much, but it would be nice to travel, but we're not in a position where we're all able to do that right now. It would have been my plan, but I'm grateful for this time that the pandemic has given humanity, because I think that it's raising people's consciousness. It may not appear that way, but it definitely is. We've got the Venus opposing Neptune also right now. That's what I was going to show you. And we're going to go over to SolarFire. So look at your own chart. Look at where that moon is. You need your time, date, place of birth. Most people know their place, and most people know their date, but they don't know their time. So if you struggle with that, you know, I can help with that if you know, but that takes looking at a chart. That's not cut and dried, doing it in a messenger type way. So see this here. This is the chart of earlier today. I need to change my pointer again. Let's see the spotlight. All right, we're back with the spotlight. So you see here, we've got this chart going on, and we can see that the moon is here with the sun. Okay, and I can go ahead with this in a little while and show you whatever else I wish to show you as I do this video. So the Venus is opposition to Neptune. So these can complicate romantic ideas or ideals. It can complicate life, because the problem is that Venus is to do with our needs, and Neptune is a bit out there beyond this realm, beyond the 5 senses. So also with Neptune, we could definitely be, you know, sort of not be very grounded and in our ideas. So when we have an opposition, you know, where basically a bit of reality can be taken away from us, and we need to check in with ourselves that we're not just going a bit woo-woo out there. And it can make us a bit lazy as well. But for art and inspiration and creativity, it's great. You know, so if you're doing a piece of art today, or you want to write poetry, or you want to do a YouTube video, or you want to do something, then do that. Venus is trying to Pluto, which is quite lovely. It's harmonious for us. But the other thing, in fact, what I did want to look at here, let me just see, was the Uranian, which I can't see here. Okay, I thought I had it in front of me. The Uranian energy is definitely, we're up for this all year. It's not easy for us. This Uranus here, square to Saturn, is very hard. You know, it's not easy. And this is all year. We're going to be to-ing and throwing. People are going to be creating new ideas and rules that are not going to really possibly work. And we may see that they change again. So people will decide that this is the new rule, and then the new rule will change again. Then people, because it's Uranian energy, people will rebel against new rules. And then, you know, that also that will be pulled in, you know, hauled in by Saturn is to do 10th house, it's to do with government, it's to do with our public image, it's to do with the world stage. It's how we want to be seen. So, you know, we're going to struggle with this as it goes through. And when we look back from, you know, March 2020, how much we've been through, we have the lockdowns. It started in Italy. It then went on to the Floyd thing. It then went on to the elections in the, you know, in the U.S.A. The whole of last year, you know, we're very heightened. We need to keep our immune system at peak. For a healthy immune system, we need to keep the cortisol levels low. You can imagine the amount of fear that we've all been in for an entire year and plus. So we need to monitor how we're using our time and what we're doing with it as well, because that can affect our immune system. If we're completely stressed out all of the time, that can affect the organs inside of us. You know, it's not just on the outside, what we look like, you know, but self-care, you know, food and exercise and sensible decisions on where we're spending our time as well. We can educate ourselves and still do things and have like-minded people. And there are divides going on as well. The node is actually trine to Saturn, and the North Node is in a trine to Saturn at the moment. And this is positive in that we can be focused on overcoming our challenges in our lives. So this is a positive thing. So the chart sort of defines where we're going through, and we're able to see that this is a really good thing for us, that trine is in there. And that will be going, you know, that will hit, Saturn is going back to 6 degrees, and then it will be nicely, which is needed, I think, in that trine for some time. So it's where we can have high standards for ourselves and set ambitious goals, and that it will help us to overcome our limits. So this is a nice aspect that we've got going on. Leo, let's have a look at what Leo means. So creative self-actualization, it's where we can be grandiose as well. So watch out for the grandiosity. Subjective awareness, it's the artist in us. It's the ruler, the king and the queen. Yeah, we've all got our inner king and queen as well. And people that we love that we see that way. It's about power, it's the arts, it's drama, it's integration, integrating, it's about approval. So we may feel wounded if somebody criticizes us or doesn't see us, you know, see our art the way we want it to see. That our own art can be anything. It can be the way we cook food. Art can be anything. It's also creativity, it's romance, it's fame, it's special recognition, it's being noticed. We want to be noticed. And it's where we can be full of ourselves, you know, it can be quite narcissistic, a purpose. Narcissism isn't all doom and gloom. And when I say that, I know what I'm talking about, because I've followed a guy on YouTube, Sam Vaknin. There's another guy as well called Paul Levy, who's got a brilliant book on narcissism in the collective, which is called, if I remember the name rightly, Dispelling Watiko. So, you know, to stop being selfish human beings, we've got to do that. When I've looked at my own chart, so when you look at your own chart, you're able to see what goes on there. I might flip back to my chart so you can understand that, and I'll explain what that 9th house means and what's going on in my chart so you can see how that works, be useful to you. So we can see there's a lot more going on here. You can keep studying astrology to the point where you really just understand so much that you could never believe what's on a chart and on the symbols. And we can also see that we've got Chiron here, which is our wound, the collective wound as well, and our own. The wounding would be something that's, you know, where we feel like sensitivity around it, depending on what house it's in. So this is a fascinating thing to look at, looking at where our Saturn, it's where we restrict ourselves based on our past implicit memories sometimes with the inner critic. We've got also Pluto is where we transform, you know, or it will push us. It's where we resist what we resist persists. And Neptune is our spiritual side, but it's also can dissolve things. It's the great dissolver, and it's retrograde at the moment as well. Lilith I won't go into. But I love Lilith, what she does in the chart. Mars is the oomph, you know, to get things going, but it can be incredibly impulsive. Mercury is the mind, you know, it's left brain stuff. And in the now, you know, what do I need to put on my shopping list? How do I, you know, how much money do I need? A subjective feeling, what I feel. It's more on, you know, what I'm feeling about something. The moon is the ego eccentric self. There's nothing wrong with the ego. Don't let people tell you that the ego is a problem. If we got rid of it, then we would hardly be able to exist. But through consciousness, we become more aligned with what's real for us and the collective, etc. Uranus energy is breaking free of limitations. And at the moment, we've got Black Moon Lilith on top of the node. So, but that's sort of one of those Liliths moves quite erratically. But I won't explain that right now. And Jupiter is expansion, you know, for better or for worse, so as well. So, you know, I could go deeper. Let me go back to my chart briefly. I'm going to go new share, back to my chart, and then I'm going to leave in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to show you. So that moon, spotlight again, that moon for me is semi-sextile to my Pluto, which is beautiful, which is 30 degrees. There's my Pluto, it's 30 degrees apart. It's semi-sextile to my Uranus as well, which is brilliant for me. This is a good new moon for me, I have to say. It's trine to my Venus, which is lovely. The moon is trining my Venus because my Venus is down there. Yeah, trine, beautiful energy. And my moon is also sextile to my moon. Wow, this is good for me too. But moon, 60 degrees apart. And then the sun is doing the same. I won't go into that. The sun is doing exactly the same because it's in the same spot. And then the ninth house, I won't read through each house. I'm just going to read the ninth house and I'm going to leave it there. The ninth house is the area of philosophy, belief systems, legal matters, higher education, long distance travel. Focuses on expanding our horizons and connecting to people from other cultures and seeking out the meaning of life on a mental level. And also it's, you know, it can be to do with our in-law situation. It's to do with law as well, so, and justice. So, okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what house it's fallen in for you below the video. I'd really enjoy to hear where it is for you. And if you got any other questions, let me know. Catch you later. Thanks for watching.